Thank you, Representative Anderson. That's wonderful. Next to the microphone, I'd like to introduce, please join me in welcoming the chairman of the Libertarian Party of Connecticut, Mr. Daniel Reale. Please welcome Mr. Reale to the microphone, please.
That's good. Thank you all for coming out today. Is a Representative Fishbein still here? All right, on the count of three, can everybody say, thank you, Attorney Fishbein? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Attorney Fishbein. I had also, like other people, sued the governor because he'd gone way too far. And on February 10th, I was talking with a few of you out here, and we kind of figured this is about money and power. That's all it is. And with the assistance of Mr. Johnson, we launched www.makemeday.com. And on that website, there is a declaration. We have a way to not only end this unitary executive rule, we have a way to make it never happen again. So this is the first public reading of the Declaration of Make Me Day, and after that, I'm going to give everyone some homework, and we're going to have a way to take this back. So, here it is, with some edits and clarifications. We, the people of Connecticut, do ordain and declare Make Me Day of the 15-day lockdown for political and financial purposes. It is here. We also do make this declaration as our last attempt to petition the King, Ned Lamont, for redress of grievance. The orders have expired. They are gone. We did not do that because the governor voluntarily did it. We've just declared them over. That's it. It's too bad. The date is set. That date is today. Today is Make Me Day, and so is every day after. This is not negotiable. This is not up for discussion because one-man rule was never up for discussion. We are not going to get to day 365 of the 15-day lockdown. This is day 363. Whether the King abides by the expiration and allows a peaceful transition is irrelevant. That choice is no longer his. The right to live, work, and of health autonomy and religious worship right now, right here, today, is in full effect. The right to live, work, see your family, see grandma, that's in effect too. We participants in Make Me Day agree that we will not comply in any manner and in any respect on any limitation above and beyond the state of the law as of March 8th, 2020. Our gatherings will be normal. Our businesses will resume normal hours, or whatever hours they want. We're going back to March 8th, 2020, right now, right here today. If any of us wants the vaccine, we'll ask for it. If anybody wants to live in fear, that's their right. However, it's not their right to make us live in fear indefinitely. Let the following facts be submitted to a candid world. We do this because we have to, because the health risks of allowing one-man rule far outweigh the risks of COVID-19 in the long run. We do this because the King has willfully ignored CDC advice, selectively applying it as he sees fit in the form of travel bans and in other arbitrary ways. We do this because the King has obliterated entire lives, fortunes, and careers by executive order. We do this because in all the things the King has done, the basic standard is whether he believes he can get away with it and nothing else. We do this because the King has paid people to not ever work or find work, and he has done it in such a manner to punish those who have struggled to find increasingly lessened amounts of work. We do this because of everyone who fell through the cracks and were mostly abandoned, all without help. We do this because the King has sidestepped existing public health law and now plots to make an experimental vaccine mandatory and plans to ignore even existing state law on mandatory vaccination. We do this because the king has abandoned his post, allowing the lieutenant governor to act in his stead, even though he is not incapacitated and he has not resigned. We do this because the king has taken far more than the state or the United States could ever compensate us for. We do this because the king has rigged our elections by purposefully confusing the process, even overruling his Secretary of State to do so. We do this because he has restrained travel and commerce among the states and acted contrary to his oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. We do this because the king has forced us, during this time of intentional economic and human destruction, to pay for the continuations of special interest benefits. We do this because the king has allowed Governor Cuomo to dictate what happens in Connecticut. And Cuomo is not presently the rightful ruler of the state, nor is he in New York. We do this because the king has indeed copied, emulated, and made himself subservient to Governor Cuomo, and used daily press briefings to operate as a celebrity governor. We do this because there are no real plans to ever leave us alone or conclude the state of emergency. We are cognizant that PCR testing methodology above 25 cycles, calling everyone who tests PCR positive a case, and using PCR positive on or about the time of death to call someone a COVID-19 associated death. That means, by the king's measuring stick, this will never end. We do this because the king has allowed municipal bodies to disenfranchise taxpayers and property owners by ratifying municipal budgets outside the normal process and rendering mayors and boards of selectmen functional lords assigned to their own fiefdoms. We do this because the General Assembly and the vast majority of elected officials have abandoned us, their duties, and their offices by not doing all the necessary to end this. Every single day they should have been doing something. Every single spare second they should have been doing something. And we are now doing that thing because we have to. We do this because the division of one party rules all and everybody else loses has gone too far, and it has created a set of problems we can no longer vote our way out of. We do this because the alternatives are homelessness, starvation, and drastically impaired health outcomes. We do it because the king has played politics with public health. He has rendered masks a political statement, and his own political party exempt from gathering restrictions and his executive orders. And so much so they were even allowed to riot on the highway when you had no right to go to church. We do this because the works of King Lamont are and indeed constitute an entire breakdown of civil order in the name of fear and safetyism for the sole end of perpetuation of the same, and whose end has no plan or foreseeable conclusion. We do this, most of all, because no one is protecting our rights but us, and we can no longer wait. And we'll do all this peaceably too. So, my friends, we declare Make Me Day, where we will no longer comply with the orders that really have no force and effect. So, to that, we pledge our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor. And we'll get it done peacefully, just by not complying. Now, here's the homework. I have started the process of, with some help, getting the website of makemeday.com up, and here's the way this works. If there's somebody who wants to enforce a COVID restriction, give tickets for masks, or even call and complain on somebody, you report them to makemeday.com. And everybody who is participating in Make Me Day, we refuse to buy, sell, and trade with them. Because fair is fair. That's the way it's got to be. You see, we're not going to wait around for somebody else to fix the problem. The problem has always been somebody else was the busiest person in the room. Tomorrow was the busiest day of the week. Some were saying we can vote our way out of this. Well, we can't, ladies and gentlemen. And so we have to take this extra step. We have to go to makemeday.com. We need to read, internalize, and understand that set of principles and that declaration, and we need to act on it. That means we do not comply. That means we report people who are trying to enforce compliance. Now, it has obviously gone way too far. Some people will say it's just about the masks. Well, it's not. The other day I had, I talked with a woman who's a parent. She had her child taken by DCF. Hasn't had a hearing for 11 months. There are thousands of those people. There are thousands of children that didn't get to see their friends, didn't get to go to school. 5-6 years down the road, there's going to be a 60-minute special. There's going to be a bunch of kids in the room talking to a reporter. They're like, man, I was being abused. I didn't see my teacher. I didn't see my friends. I had nowhere to go for help. We're going to look back on those children, and we're going to say, so, no, it's not just about the masks. We've got businesses that have been closed like a whole year. I mean, we're going to throw 40 million Americans on the street just with what we've done to jobs and housing. Now, call me crazy, but I think homelessness might have some adverse public health effects, wouldn't you think? Who needs a home? And then there's the price of materials to build homes, and it goes on and on and on, and it's way bigger than COVID. So the bottom line is, we are dealing with monsters, and that is the truth. Now, I know the media does not want to report on that truth, just like they do not want to report on the fact that a Hartford Superior Court judge has ruled the governor exceeded his authority. So here's your second item of homework, by the way. All of these Zoom by government meetings, your local meetings, even the meetings in here, they want to do that by Zoom. I'm going to take the position that's a Freedom of Information Act violation, and you should all complain, as I will be complaining about all of them. So what these tyrants who want to Zoom by government can do is deal with several hundred of us right in front of the FOI Commission and explain how that's now legit. So guess what? If they want to reinstitute safetyism by Zoom by government, best of luck with that. Hire the lawyer you like the least. So in closing, make me. You gotta make me. We're here. Thank you. God bless you all, and let's get this done. We can do it, and we will do it, and we will succeed.